Archie is new to the show. Oh, thank you so much, Archie. I'll tell you what, we need that. I'll tell you what happened, Archie. So, for the first 316 days of the show, all I did was preach positivity. All I did was come out here for an hour to an hour and 20 minutes straight and just build energy and just be like, talk about how great you are. What you have within you is untapped. And if you locate that genius, that unique genius within you, you can do things you didn't believe were possible. And I would do that. I would talk about that. And then we move forward to where we are today, which is celebrity impressions. This is who I was prior. My comedic side, my young actor side. I was an actor when I was like 18 to 21. That side's coming out and it's becoming part of this variety program. This program is never meant to be about one thing. It's meant to be about the entire thing. If you cannot be the entirety of self for the people, then you are not real. And for me, the only thing that's real when we say the words real talk is transparencies. Every single second is unscripted. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to bring you the fire. I'm going to take every single piece of energy and power and light within me and share it with you. And all I can hope is that you take it and then you do something with it. Like you said, Arch, that you share it. Because here's what happened. When I was doing the positivity thing, the world was working on a game plan of division. Not just the United States, the world. This whole CV-19 was a plandemic. You have the Event 201 in New York City months before the release of this deadly virus. And this is the world we live in. So if you are a guy who decides to start a positivity and light program December 31st, 2018, and 2019 is already the year they're planning on destroying the world, you all of a sudden become an enemy of the state. So I've been shadow banned since day one, essentially. Maybe week one. The first week I was getting views. And then all of a sudden they went down to zero, like very, very few. And most people would quit. Most people would say, you know what, I'll just do it once a month, or I'll just show up occasionally. I just kept freaking going. One day somebody says to me, I don't want to say who, but somebody says to me, you can't go every day. Nobody wants to see you every day. And when I heard those words, they kind of hit me. And I said I could believe them, or I can believe what my heart tells me, which is that the world needs what I can do with my existence. It's something that I feel like is meant to be. I specifically stopped myself from doing stuff like this for a very long time. As a kid, I remember thinking I'm going to do something like this one day. And at the end of it, all I could say is I'm leading with my heart now. I'm going to keep driving towards this world I see in my mind that smiles more. A world I see in my mind that shuts off the negatube and joins me here on the positube, where we can make a difference. And the live music can bring us to a level, and the laughter brings us to a level, and the real talk brings us to a level. And combined, we take ourselves to a level we cannot find in the outside world. Here we are shielded by the light, my friends. We are shielded by the light of the universe. Nothing can penetrate that shield when we're here. And maybe you've seen this already, Archie. But what we get in this chat is love. What we give in this chat is love. So you can go to any platform and troll. There's trolls everywhere. Not here. My mods are awesome. My mods will lift you up. And if they see someone who's making the chat feel like crap, they're just going to kick them out. Because to me, I want the light to live. I don't want anybody feeling a pit in their stomach in my platform. And if that means somebody gets booted because they're being a jerk, maybe next time they'll learn that this isn't the platform for that. Here I ask you to dig deep and find something. And I want you to give something that makes you feel vulnerable, that you just don't want to speak about typically. And here you're going to find the answers you need. You're going to find someone who's going to support you more than you've ever had support for yourself. And go with it. This is the essence of a family without having to deal with the negativity of that family. Like everybody has baggage in their lives. But here we leave it all at the door. When we come here to this chat, when we come here to this show, we leave everything from the day behind. And we put everything positive out there. One more thing. So, the motto of this show, Archie, and anybody else who's new, if you're new tonight, please let me know. The motto of this show is to effect a positive change one person at a time. It's one of my quotes. It's one of my first quotes for the show. I've been writing quotes since the beginning of this show, but that one, I believe that we're all intended to effect a positive change one person at a time on a daily basis. And that's not a greedy request for me to make of you. To effect a positive change one person at a time. This is the only reason why I was live for 608 days before Wages sent people my way through SIG. And SIG went out of his way to share that there's a guy who's going live for 2 to 4 hours a day to 4 people. And I'd play for 4 hours to 4 people, guys. Just like I'll play for 4 hours to you 31. The crazy thing is I would have played those 4 hours to 0. My mission, I believed, was a life mission of messages. And beyond my lifespan, somebody would come across those messages and they'd learn something, they'd find something. They'd connect to what I was meant to leave. I just didn't have an opportunity to meet anybody in my generation. I didn't have an opportunity to stand in front of people and I have questions come my way. One of the things I like to do here is just answer in real time, just like everything else. A question comes across and I want to answer. Because the universe provides if you connect to it and you have faith. That's the one thing I have here is total faith that the universe, that spirit that I connect to, is going to guide me to everything that I am meant to be. Now, life is tough because it's not designed for us to go and become what we're meant to be. It's designed for us to struggle through. It's designed for us to not be able to handle lightly. And with that in mind, it almost is designed impossibly for you to live in the moment. There's constant drama, there's back and forth pull, and you really don't know where anything's going to take you because we're always on the edge of a cliff. How do you live in the moment when you're on the edge of a cliff all the time? I think this is how we do it, is right here. We come here and we let time stop. We can do that together. So I just want you guys to understand that I will be here every day, delivering the message I'm meant to deliver. And all I ask is that if you find something that means something to you, if you find something that makes you feel alive, share it. If you come across a piece of content that makes you feel alive, share it. Tell me about it. I'll pull it and share it. I just don't have the time to go through 4 hours of content every day. I'm trying to sell real estate. Trinity, Red Door, Blue Pill, Hi-Ho, Kermit the Frog here. Thank you so much for the donation. You are amazing. Thank you so much. Doing the Lord's work is right, my friend. Here's the crazy thing, Archie. I want to say something. Connie, how are you? I want to say something about that. Because this is hard to say without offending people. That's why I have to choose my words very, very carefully. Because we're so divided as a society, because society decides to divide us into different categories, colors, different hierarchies, lower, whatever you want to say, they just divide the heck out of us. And they constantly tell us how different we are, to divide us, to make you feel less trusting of this race and of that race. And it's a weird thing because to me, what I can sense and what I feel within me is that we are all connected. We are all one. I jokingly say, but I kind of believe this may be a real thing, that we're 7 billion people, but we're one soul split into 7 billion. And because the soul of existence is literally every single thing, good and bad and different, that you could imagine, it makes sense. It makes sense that we are one soul split into 7 billion. And some of us get this quality, some of us get that quality. If we are energy and we just disperse and we become, then we're absolutely going to control everything else. Holy cow, Trinity. Remember, cancer doesn't define you and nobody deserves it, or any illness. Yep, hugs to everyone needing love right now. Absolutely, Trinity. We love you so much, and keep your chin up, because at the end of the day, that is the most important thing, is staying positive, as you know. I'm reading a book right now my mentor gave me, and it's funny. It's not like, I say mentor because I just look up to this man. You know, and it's funny, sometimes when we're chatting, I actually feel like I'm providing just as much value as he is when we're speaking. But he's read so many books on this, on everything I do, everything I say, everything that comes out of me naturally, he's read. He's the one who told me there's nothing new, Mark. Everything's been said, it's just said a little differently. That's why I know everything that comes out of my mouth, although I didn't read it in a book, has been said before by somebody, a little bit different. But it's the same exact feeling, the same exact essence, the same exact message, because we all connect to something pure, the few of us that are able to. And the answers are always the same. The message is always the same. And so what I wanted to say about the Lord's work is that because we've divided everything, even religion divides us from being connected. Think about this. And this is where I realized man got in the way. All religion could connect on those basic tenements, whatever you want to call them. You got love, kindness. You've got love, kindness, and the idea of seeing people at their best and it's all just positivity in my mind. These things, I think, all the religions have in spades, and then all this other stuff is built in by man in order to control. And I just feel that, like I said, I'd love to sit down with a theologian. I'd love to have someone on my show to speak about it, because I have questions, and they'd probably be able to dispel a lot of my concerns and curiosities, really, to be honest with you. But I truly believe that the only way that this program becomes all-inclusive is if it's understood that the Lord's true intention is that we didn't have any specific religion. Is that we were all believing that if we love each other and we build each other up and we're kind and we're helpful, that we will find the light of the Lord. And it's not about smiting, and it's not about, and that's why I know man got involved and screwed everything up. You know, when they start saying stuff like, oh, if you don't follow me, you go to hell. Like, ugh, really? You really think that's what the Lord would believe? You really think that's what the purest spirit in the universe would be thinking to themselves? Well, if you don't, like, here's this weird response mechanism. Like, that sounds like a Donald Trump thing to do if you were like a fake news person saying Donald Trump's evil. Like, he's just going to just take a magnifying glass and he's going to burn you. Like, what? It's a weird thing. No, sorry. I think it's pure light. And you put yourself where you are. It's not the Lord that does that. It's not the spirit of the universe that puts you where someplace. You do that. You do it completely. We're stuck in this weird mental belief because we're human. We don't understand how it works. that like there's some guy sitting at a gate who's like, oh, you put yourself exactly where you're meant to go. You judge yourself at the end of it. The people around you that you lived with judge you. It's all encompassing. It's not about some fantasy person sitting in a room somewhere with like a book who says, yeah, well, on April 3rd, how did you treat the people in your life? How do they feel about you? And that's the thing, is you got to figure out how to provide value to people. You have to figure it out. That's all I can say. And now I'm rambling. 25 minutes of rambling when Sid told me to go take a nap. Like a sleep sofa.